Welcome, students from 6th grade Escuela Mariano Abasolo. On today's lesson, we're going to treat April exam guide for this grade, for 6th grade. So welcome, and let's start with this guide. On this first part, label the parts of the report. En esta primera parte, etiqueta las partes del reporte. We have 5 numbers or 5 rectangles with a number in each of it. Tenemos 5 rectángulos con un número en cada rectángulo, ¿verdad? Y ahí vamos a escribir cuál de todas esas partes, cuál de número corresponde a cada una de las diferentes partes de un párrafo o de una lección. We're gonna write down which part belongs to each part of the paragraph. For example, we have the title. Tenemos por ejemplo el título. We have also the image. What part is the image? ¿Cuál parte es la imagen? We have the opening. Tenemos la apertura. Also we have the body, el cuerpo del párrafo. And finally we have the closure, which is the final part. Tenemos la clausura, que es la parte final, ¿verdad? Por ejemplo, en this paragraph decimos how to prevent accidents in school. How do we call that part? Tenemos en esta parte uno que dice cómo prevenir los accidentes en la escuela. ¿Cómo le llamamos esa parte? Le llamamos body, closure, opening, image, or title. So depends of your opinion, you're gonna write down your answer inside of the rectangle. Depende de la respuesta que tú creas que es conveniente, vas a escribirla dentro del rectángulo del número 1. Then we have right here a boy and a person, another person, an adult. Tenemos un niño y un adulto. What do this part represent? ¿Qué representa esta parte? Body, closure, opening, image, or title. Once you finish on the side that part, then we're gonna go to the number 3. Cuando decida la número 2, continuamos con el número 3. La primera parte. Keeping a school full of children and staff members safe and accident-free is not easy task. A small water spill in the hallway or a pothole on the playground can cause major injury and possibly open the school to legal repercussion if not addressed immediately. To avoid accident at school, generate a clear set of safety guidelines and keep an eagle eye on facilities. Train staff and students on ways to prevent accidents from happening and what to do if someone does get hurt. ¿Cómo se llamaría esa parte del párrafo? Que dice pues más o menos que mantener a tantos niños en la escuela junto con los directivos pues de una manera que no existen accidentes no es fácil, que incluso un derrame de agua o un bache en las instalaciones de la escuela puede causar algún accidente. Muy bien, la número 4, the number 4. What part of the paragraph do you think that part belongs to? ¿Qué parte corresponde a un párrafo este parte número 4? Is that a title, image, opening, closure, or body? You decide it. In the number next one also you're going to decide it. Now let's continue with the next part, which is closure. Closure is the final part of the paragraph. Just keep that in mind. Que la clausura es la parte final del párrafo. Then we have the body. The body is the middle part of the paragraph. Sí, el cuerpo o el desarrollo es la parte del medio del párrafo. Then we have the title. The title is the name of the lesson or the paragraph. El título es el nombre de la lección o del párrafo. Right, the next one, it says image. Image is the drawing in the paragraph. La imagen es el dibujo en el párrafo. And finally, the number 5, it says opening. Opening is the first part of the paragraph. Que la apertura es la primera parte del párrafo. Alright, very good. I hope you can understand all this part of the exam. Espero que entiendan esta parte del examen. Okay, once again, I'm showing you this part, which is the first part of the exam. Una vez más les muestro lo que será la primera parte del examen. Again, you're going to decide which rectangle belongs to each of those words on the side of the paragraph. Ustedes van a decidir cuál palabra corresponde a cada rectángulo de las palabras que están a un lado de la presentación. ¿Sí? Title, image, or image, opening, closure, and body. Alright, let's continue with the second part of the exam. Okay, now on this part of the exam, which is the second part, it says identify the recommendation to avoid an accident. Circle the correct answer. En esta parte, que es la segunda parte del examen, vamos a elegir cuál de las opciones es la mejor respuesta para prevenir una situación. Aquí hice un accidente, pero en realidad es prevenir una situación. ¿Ok? Prevenir una situación, es decir, ¿sí? Y dice, encierra la respuesta correcta. ¿Sí? Situación. For example, the number 1 on the first image, it says get sick. What is get sick? Once you figure that out, una vez que ustedes figuren qué significa get sick, you're going to decide either the right answer is do not push anyone, or wash your hands frequently. ¿Cómo puedes prevenir esta situación de get sick? Do not pushing anyone or washing your hands frequently. Okay, that's the first question of the second part of the exam. Es la primera pregunta de la segunda parte del examen. Then the next one, we have an accident. How can we avoid an accident? To have an accident. ¿Cómo podemos prevenir esta situación? To have an accident. And we have also two options. One is be careful. We need to be careful. Or we need to cover our cough or sneeze. Cover your cough or sneeze. Which one is the best option to avoid having an accident? ¿Cuál de las dos es la mejor opción para prevenir to have an accident? Alright, let's continue with the next part, which is the last one. Here we go. And here we have again 3 different questions. The number 1, fall down. What is the best option to avoid falling down? We have these 2 options. Throw the waste in the dustbin is one of them, or the second one, look both ways while crossing. You're going to decide, ustedes tienen que decidir cuál es la mejor forma de prevenir falling down or fall down. See the image and figure that out. What is the meaning of it? Miren la imagen y figúrense qué es lo que está sucediendo y cuál es la mejor opción to prevent that activity to happen. Now, that's fall down. The next one, the next part, the next question is personal risk. How can we avoid being on a risk? We have 2 options again. Avoid contact with sick people. What is avoid contact with sick people? or never open the door to strangers. Avoid contact with sick people or never open the door to strangers. Which is the best option to avoid personal risk? Once you decide what option do you think is the better or the best, just circle it up. Then the last one, it says COVID-19, the most popular topic of the day. COVID-19, el tema del día, ¿verdad? Siempre. What can we do to avoid getting infected by this virus? We have wear a mask, or we have limit distractions. How can we prevent to get infected of COVID-19? Wearing a mask or limited our distractions. So whichever you think is the best option, let's circle it up. Okay, let's continue with this next part. Okay, this is the last part. We have again the same situation. On the first one, we have get sick. Okay, check the image, miren la imagen, and figure out what is getting sick or get sick, and then you're going to circle which is the best option to avoid getting sick. Do not push anyone or wash your hands frequently. ¿Cuál es la mejor opción para poder nosotros eliminar o prevenir el getting sick, where de acuerdo a la imagen, do not to happen to us? Do not push anyone or wash your hands frequently. Then we have the other option, which is have an accident. How can we prevent having an accident? And we have two different options as well. One is be careful, we must be careful, or cover your cough or sneeze. Which is the best option to avoid having an accident? You decided once you figure out what is the meaning of each of these phrases. Ustedes van a elegir la mejor forma de prevenir esa parte una vez que figuren qué significa cada una de las frases. The next one, the next part is fall down. How can we avoid falling down? And again, we have throw the dust in the dustbin. What would be that in Spanish? And look both ways while crossing. That could be the another part of the exam, or just a review of the previous part for your convenience. Alright, let's continue with the next part. Here now we have the last two images. So the first one, it says personal risk. How can we prevent to be on a personal risk? The option that we have, avoid contact with sick people is one of them, or the other one, never open the door to strangers. What would be the best option to select to avoid personal risk? ¿Cuál será la mejor opción para prevenir estar en un personal risk? Avoiding contact with sick people, or never open the door to strangers. Once you decide which one, circle it. Okay, and finally the last one, COVID-19. As we said before, the option that we have, we need to wear a mask or limit distractions. Which one is the best way to avoid getting infected of COVID-19? We need to wear a mask or limit our distractions. Okay, once you figure that out, that you will be finished your exam. Okay, boys and girls from 6th grade, once you finish your exam, thank you very much and good luck. I hope you'll get 100 in this activity. Thank you.